Indian side to move on?
Well, earlier countries get a better deal. That's the way it is. So those who come in, July 4th to July 9th, there's just going to be a pile.
Right.
Right? But those who are earlier, and I think India is trying hard to be one of the earlier countries, which I appreciate. But these kind of deals used to take 2 or 3 years, and we're trying to get them done in a month, which is, just not the ordinary DNA of trading relationships between countries. But what I hope to achieve is we would like market access. We would like our businesses to have reasonable access to the markets of India. Now, it's not going to be everything, and it's not going to be everywhere, but we want to have the trade deficit reduced. Now, in exchange for that, what India is going to want is they're going to want certain key markets that they're going to want to make sure that they have special access to the American marketplace. And so that's the trade-off. If I say, look, I'll treat you incredibly kindly on the things that are really important to you, and you bring down your tariffs and give us market access, and let's find the proper place in the middle. And I think if you have the right person on the other side, and what happens is if they put a normal trade minister, it's an endless set of talking and no outcome, because they're used to saying this kind of deal will take 3 years, we'll get this done in 2 years. And that's not really fun for me. So the idea is when they put the right person, and India put the right person on the other side of the table, and we've managed, I think, to be in a very, very good place, and you should expect a deal between the United States and India in the not too distant future, because I think we found a place that really works for both countries. Well, it happened the old-fashioned way, which is one of my best friends, Nikesh Arora, is Indian. So when you have one of your best friends is Indian, and then Anshu Jain was one of Nikesh's best friends, yeah. And so then we went on vacation together, and we hung out together. And so ultimately what happened is I would go on these golf weekends, and I'd be the only white guy on the golf weekend. So, I got interested in India because my friends had unique insight into it, and we could really talk about it. And so I wasn't a classic American looking at it from the outside, right? When I would go to India, we'd go to house parties, we'd play cricket, we just had fun. And it's a different perspective. So I am a great fan of India, and even the people in the government know that that's true. Our view of AI and the best chips in the world was the Biden administration had a very constrained view. And the Trump administration's view is embrace your allies, have your allies join you in the AI revolution, right? Have them come with you. So we are willing to sell our best chips, but they have to be done in certain ways so they can't end up in the hands of those that we don't want to have them. We don't want them training their models on that kind of thing. So we have a variety of rules, but basically our idea is that we want to embrace our allies and our friends in a way that is much more open than the Biden administration, not even on the same hemisphere. So we love our allies. We want our allies to participate in the AI revolution with us. And if India is interested, which of course it is, and it wants to build giant data centers and be a part of that model, we are ready, willing, and look forward to embracing India as a partner and friend in that. So the Indian economy is extraordinary. Your human capital capacity is amazing. Your growth rate is amazing. But there were certain things that the Indian government did that generally rubbed the United States the wrong way. For instance, you generally buy your military gear from Russia. That's a way to kind of get up, under the skin of America if you're going to buy your armaments from Russia. So I think India is starting to move towards buying the military equipment from the United States, which then goes a long way. And these kind of things, just creating that relationship, being a part of BRICS,
yep.
right? Which is, oh, let's move to not support the dollar and dollar hegemony. That's not really the way to make friends and influence people in America. So, you know, the president calls that out directly and specifically, and the Indian government is addressing it specifically and directly. And that's how you move on to a really positive place, is put it on the table, address it straight on, resolve it straight on, and get to a really good place. And I think that's where we are.
Mr. Secretary, talk a little bit about manufacturing in India, because obviously there's a number of companies, including a couple of companies here, who are looking to invest further in manufacturing in India. What's your view of that? Do you think the U.S. will be doing more to help push more manufacturing in India, in addition to obviously manufacturing in the United States?
Well, I think the United States wants to bring advanced manufacturing back to the United States of America. All right, that's a key industrial platform for us to bring back domestic manufacturing and reshoring in America. Right? So now there are enormous number of product categories that we are going to be delighted for India to produce. And what we're going to have is you'll sort of have a trade deal that says, look, these kind of industries would be great for India to produce. And in fact, there are enormous numbers of industries that we'd really like to go to India, right? And what happens is you create this sort of trade deal that puts India in a unique position, right? Because it'll have a special relationship with the United States. In certain industries, it will have a better tariff relationship than most other countries in the world, which means India will be the beneficiary of those kind of products. So some will need to be reshored to America, right? But they'll be replaced with incredible opportunity for India, which has one of the most extraordinary economies, one of the most extraordinary, you know, the key that makes an extraordinary economy is the determination